Well, I wanted to show you the Japanese tea ceremony garden now that it is completely finished. You'll recall about a year and a half ago, we had a group of Japanese landscape gardeners that came and installed this garden here at the Studio Gardens at the same time that they were installing the Japanese garden for the city of Stillwater. Now at the time, we showed you the construction of the garden and what they had installed, and we had some plant material in, but there were a few things that needed finished to have a complete look to the garden, and we have finally been able to finish the garden. Now the thing that you notice is there's not just a lot of plant material in this garden, however it is a very peaceful and nice garden. We basically have some nandina, we also have a few junipers and our pines, and you'll notice that the snowmound spirea that's actually blooming right now behind our water feature is a nice addition to the garden. But in addition to the plant materials, the hardscape of the garden is also a big part of it. And what we were able to finish is to put the mulch down and also to make our gravel kind of water area out here in the front. This is part of what makes the garden so peaceful. Now, the tradition is to rake this in designs, and it actually has kind of a look of water. It's a very smooth flowing addition to the garden, and this makes just a very nice peaceful spot to come and sit and listen to the birds. So when you're out at the Studio Gardens, be sure to come and check out the Japanese tea ceremony garden. Well, today I wanted to show you another one of our theme gardens this year, and it is the daisy garden. And as you look at the plants in here, you can kind of tell that a lot of them are daisies in the daisy family. The daisy family is actually the Asteraceae family. It used to be known as Compositae, and you can see as we look here, we've got Melampodium or Blackfoot daisy. We also have Marguerite daisies here and Shasta daisies. And we also have on over here some of our Gerbera daisies. Now, while a lot of the plants in this garden you can tell have a daisy type flower on them, there are some others that you wouldn't realize were in the same family. For instance, our Poiscastle artemisia is also in the Asteraceae family, but a lot of us don't realize that because we're actually focusing on the foliage of that plant instead of the flower. Another plant in this family is the Ageratum with those nice powdery blue flowers on the top, and Gray Santolina is another one that we focus on the foliage instead of the flower. Now another plant that's in this family is the goldenrod or solidago, and that's going to be a very nice addition to this garden as the fall comes along. Dahlias are also in the family, and one that you might not expect, we actually have some lettuce planted here. The lettuce is also in the Asteraceae family, and believe it or not, 10% of all the flowering plants that we have are in this family, so you can tell it is a very wide-ranging family. Now we usually eat our lettuce leaves instead of letting them bloom, so we never see the flowers, but there are several actually food crops that are in this family besides lettuce. Also chicory, endive, the cardoon or the artichoke that we eat, Jerusalem artichoke, are also in this family. Now I want to show you here on one of our Gerbera daisies, while it's not the prettiest because we've been having quite a bit of rain, what I'm talking about when I talk about the flowers that are in this family. We actually think of this whole thing as being the flower. However, the actual flowers, as we look down here, there are thousands of them. And you can see them here, and these will go ahead and develop seeds. And that's where part of the name, the composite family, came from. It's a composite flower. So you can see that we actually have thousands of flowers in here. Now, as we go through this season and this garden starts to fill in, we'll come back and look at some more of the plants and see how our daisy garden is progressing. But right now, I wanted to show you another one of our theme gardens. Well, the other theme garden that I wanted to show you, since we've got it planted now, is the R.O.Y garden. That's the red, orange, and yellow colored garden that we're going to have this year. And one of the great plants in this garden that serves both the red and the orange is our Tropicana canna. Now it's got beautiful foliage and it'll also have a nice bloom on it. Now back behind it you can see here that we've got a bright yellow plant, and that's the line suncoleus. And this is definitely a very bright spot in the garden. Now this is a garden that's made up of a lot of warm colors, and the cigar plant has some nice orange flowers on it. Now right next to that we have a plant that's not blooming yet, but we're very excited about it. It's actually a red hot poker. It's flamenco. And this will actually bloom the first year from seed, and we had a few blooms on it last year. And this is its second year, so it's going to have a lot of nice blooms on it. We're looking forward to looking at that. Now we also have, as you can see here, we've got a few of the snapdragons and the salvia, but another plant that has both kind of the red and the orange on it is one of the All-American Selection winners. And this is the Bonanza Bolero Marigold. And we have these planted, and it's going to be nice to see how these fill in. And they should perform very well for us because they are an All-American Selection. So we'll come back and visit this garden after it's come in and see all these nice warm colors.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.